Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
Okay, this is going to be part 2 of Gil's Arena and Gilbert's. To me, it seems like mental gymnastics in regards to his argument against Shaq. Either he's not catching Shaq's logic, which I think he kind of bullshitted away of hey, forget about you saying you're going to go to the Bulls. They couldn't afford you. They were already over the cap. Thus, they couldn't afford you. Thus, you were never going there in the first place. It's like, well, was that the point Shaq was making? Not to me.
No,
and then also, if that was possible, you kind of assuming that Shaq would just go there. He'd go to the best team that would whatever fit that could pay him and fit winning. We don't know that. We'd have to read Shaq's mind in order to figure that out. Of would Shaq stay by what he said recently? Of hey, there's a culture about this. We don't just go to super teams and try to win a championship. We try to do it as us as the key piece. The glory of being the guy who has the stats and gets the wins is different than joining a team where we don't know what reason they're winning. Really, it's kind of harder to understand why they're winning because there's these other fucking star players there. Who's to say Ray Allen's 16 points a game or something like that, right? On the Celtics isn't the key factor that puts him over the hump for a championship. Maybe he doesn't score the most points, but maybe his three-point shooting is such a threat that it changes the dynamic of them playing basketball and leads to a championship. So, yeah, that's why it's a little murky joining teams. And the main context was Kevin Durant joining the Warriors, but you can put many other players in that discussion. So, with that context, yada yada yada, let's finish up the second half of this and move on with our lives. Here we go. Shots, Hakan.
I just did it.
when?
When he went with Hakeem. When he went to Houston. Clyde Drexler was the man in fucking Portland.
But that's what he said. He said I would have just went to Portland. He said I would have just went to Portland and teamed with Clyde.
Acceptable. Portland in 95, 96?
That's what Shaq was saying.
They didn't have the money. It's the same thing Barkley tried to do. Barkley tried to go to the same fucking team. I want to be traded to Portland because they just went to the championship. Portland's like, we don't need you. We don't want you. All right, who's the next best team? Phoenix? Let me go to Phoenix.
But that's what Shaq.
Now they want to say, these guys are trying to super. The same shit you just tried to do.
But look, this is what I'm saying.
Once again, we don't know that. We don't know that because the Lakers are a much different scenario. Or Charles near the end of his career or something. That's him trying to win a title, just win one title before he retires is a different story than I'm gonna try to, do a video game trade and get all the good players on one team and try to win like that. Right? It's a different scenario. It's a different sense of it too. I think MJ talks about it in a clip where he's like, "I'm not trying to join those guys. I'm trying to beat those guys." Pause. I'm trying to fucking be better than them. Win with what I got. Maybe it was a culture thing. Maybe not. I don't know. Could Shaq have said, or not Shaq, but could MJ have said, I'm going to join the Lakers when Phil Jackson joins the Lakers? Just go with them. Could he have done that?
Yeah.
I don't know financially. According to Gilbert, it's all up to financials.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's all up to financials, man. Sometimes it might be pride and glory of being the fucking man, and the pride of you're being that guy. Who's the reason why you win a title. I think that was a part of the culture. I think that's a part of Gilbert's culture. Not only does he want to average 27, but he wants to be the winner, the best team. So we're like, okay, I'm the best player. That means I'm the best player. When I have the best numbers and I dominate in clutch time and regular season time and like I'm the dominant player and we win the title, that means I'm the best player on the fucking planet. Because what I do results into fucking wins. I would think Gilbert would say that in his prime of playing basketball, but who knows? Speculation, just like Shaq's thing is kind of speculation. But here we go.
I'm saying KD, in Shaq's defense of what he's saying about KD, is the fact that KD came from being this guy with 3 other superstars, and you're going to this team with 3 other superstars, and it's like he's saying you're not going to.
It's not just superstars. It's they won a championship already.
During my time.
But then why?
It's that the Warriors won a championship, and then the time they lost was like even that like people have suspicions about because of the Draymond Green suspension and some of the refereeing that was happening. People had like I'm saying just like the average barbershop fucking basketball talk. People were a little sus of that championship as well for LeBron and the Cavaliers. To where like, oh no, the Warriors are still a better team. So it's like you're joining the best team in basketball as one of the best players in basketball. And it's like kind of, which is what happened, right? Foregone conclusion. They're going to win the title. Like it's over now. So, and people had actually, to be honest with you, people had that perception with the Heat. It's just they shit the bed big time against the fucking Mavericks.
Yeah.
And then shit the bed years after that as well. Like they're supposed to beat the fucking Spurs. They're supposed to beat that team. like straight up, they're supposed to beat them. But yeah. All right, here we go.
Why did you try to do? Why did you do it?
He didn't try to do it.
He did.
He didn't. No, he didn't. You're just saying that.
We don't know if he tried to do it or not, Gil.
He would have tried to do it, but that ain't the case.
Like he don't have.
He was a free agent. He went to LA where there was more superstars.
But he don't. So the Miami thing, right? The Miami ring, right?
Elephant in the room. Thank you, Kenyon.
If he don't, who team was that?
Oh, okay. You're talking about the
Who team was
Wade,
that? It was
the
Shaq.
Wade Heat. Okay.
With Shaq team.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
The Miami team?
Yeah.
That was his team?
Diesel.
Okay, so
Whoever's 35 in the final, whoever's 35 in
Yeah, that was in the finals. That's in the finals. We gotta let young fella do his thing. But it's my team.
I just want to ask you a question.
When Shaq went to the Heat, it was like the big deal was Shaq was going there. D Wade wasn't like, oh my God, Dwayne Wade. He wasn't that yet.
Yeah, he didn't have the reputation that he had when LeBron got there.
Exactly. And
he was still it was the same thing with Kobe.
Yeah.
He had talent. You didn't know this guy could be this.
Exactly. And it wasn't even like that until after Wade in that finals against the Mavericks. Then they were like, oh shit, this Dwayne Wade kid. As far as like, not just like a really good player, right? Like people look at Anthony Edwards right now, it's like, wow, this guy's a really good player. But if he carries a team to a fucking title, now it's a different stratosphere.
It's
a different tone. It's all different. So Wade didn't win that shit until after Shaq got there. So, which means he wasn't perceived as that guy like that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So
they're gonna like the way that the tone they're making it seem like is like that. Like Shaq got carried.
No, Shaq put up beast numbers, I think, in his like first year or whatever, and he had injury problems, I think, in his years in Miami. And D-Wade was excellent.
Just to be safe, Shaq's.
Yeah, look that shit up.
Shaq's first year in Miami.
It had to be like 21-12 or some shit like that, or I don't know.
First year in Miami was 04, 05. He shot 60%, 22.
Typical.
Yeah, what was it? 22 and 9. Yeah, 22 and 10 was his first year.
22 points, 10 rebounds. Okay.
He was 32.
How many games did he play?
73.
Okay, and the year after?
59.
59. Okay, and that was that the championship year?
I thought 04, 05 was a championship year. It was,
Was it?
I'm not sure. I'm tripping. Maybe you're right.
0405 wasn't that the Spurs? I could be tripping. Or was that the Spurs? 04 was the Pistons. I think
Yeah, I think
05 was
you're
the
right.
Spurs. 06 is the
Yeah.
fucking Heat.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
But they're going to bring something up where I think they bring it up here where Gary Payton was like, "Hey man, you got to pass the torch to this guy now, to D Wade. He's like proving himself." And it's like, but that wasn't the perception before Shaq got there. That's the whole point. He wasn't joining Flash, right? He wasn't Flash yet.
Yeah. Yeah. He wasn't Jordan Flash.
Exactly. He was a good young player, and then he became Flash, or maybe he already was, but no one knew it yet. To where like it wasn't like he was just joining a super team.
Yeah, the championship year with Miami, he was 20-9
Okay.
in 59 games.
Okay.
That was the last year he scored 20.
Still a good season, but it's not
At
it's
33,
not Laker Shaq dominant. It's not that.
no, he yeah, he wasn't the same after he left Miami.
Yeah.
He had one All-Star year with Phoenix.
But either way, it doesn't break the rule of what we're calling a super team. Like that's not a super team because you're coming to become the centerpiece. You are the franchise player, just switching franchises, but you're still a franchise player. I think that's the idea that was that's being talked about.
Yes,
That these guys are
yes.
just like it's like they're changing what that means around.
Yeah.
They're bringing in contracts and all that shit. Like no, this is about like what teams have what talent. And are you going there to just piggyback off these other talents, or are you going there to become the centerpiece of the talent? It's a different argument, but they're kind of playing around with what these words are meaning, in my opinion, or what Shaq meant by these words. But let's hear them.
In the finals, we gotta let young fella do his thing. But it's my team.
I just want to ask you a question.
Kind of was Shaq's team
When
in
I
a
said
way.
he ran from the Bulls, this is the year the Bulls went 72-10. They went 72-10. Orlando was second with 60-22, right? So I'm a free agent. We just won 60 fucking games. Now I got to try to find somewhere to compete with Michael Jordan, right? San Antonio has who? Can't go to San Antonio, right? David Robinson and Tim Duncan can't go there.
That's what he said, though. Didn't he? He said San Antonio was
I
one of the
can't
teams.
go to San Antonio. They have David Robinson and Tim Duncan. Where am I playing?
It's no money.
Was he saying that literally?
No.
I don't think he was saying that literally. Like, yeah, I could have went to the Spurs. I could have went to this team and that team. I don't think he's saying that like literally. He's just saying the best teams that were in the league.
He was specifically talking about it wasn't a thing back then to get on the phone and go, "Hey, you're a free agent. I'm a free agent. Let's go over here and make a team."
Exactly.
It's not. It's like he said Mike because like yeah like it's got to be on the table. He's the greatest player of all time. LeBron like right now LeBron and before he leaves Cleveland. Like yeah, I'm gonna consider going to him if that's what I want to do. I want to team up with the best around. Yeah, I would consider teaming up with him.
Yeah.
Same thing with Michael. Like oh, I didn't know I could team up with the best team, which happened to have the best player in the league. It's the same thing.
Yes.
It's not necessarily um I don't even know what he's trying to say.
I don't know either. I think he's trying to say it's not realistic. Like it's not like that wasn't a possibility at that time period. But that has nothing to do with the point he's making about like
No, not only that, he's contradictory because remember in the part one we saw, he's like, I was on a 61 team and I go to a 51 team. And he's trying to make it seem as like the Lakers were championship ready when before he got there.
exactly
Like,
they weren't.
but at the same time, you're trying to prop up the Magic.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. It's weird. He's all over the place, bro, but he gets away with it.
To use Rashad like what Rashad's his little metaphor of like castles. Like Shaq has his castle in Orlando, right? But he feels like like, fuck, are we gonna win here? Am I gonna get maybe the right personnel? Whatever, or is there better pastures out there as far as for me personally? Whatever, right? And he sees LA.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, I can go to LA. There's no castles there. There's no castles in LA. There's no prime Kobe there, right? You have Nick Van Exel or Eddie Jones who are good players, but there's no castle there. There's no king in LA yet. Thus, I can go there and do all these personal things like with Hollywood and all that shit, but also not just be like kind of freeloading off some other superstar to where we're like, it's an automatic title because I'm joining forces with X, Y, or Z. It's kind of like I'm doing it on my, like, for the glory's sake. I want to win, right? And LA provides an opportunity to win, amongst other things, for Shaq personally. But also, if we do win, I'm going to be the reason why. I will be the centerpiece of why we win. That's the glory part. That's the thing I think Shaq is talking about, a pride thing. That apparently Gil is just not getting it somehow. I don't understand how he doesn't understand that. Because he was a player. He played. He played at a high fucking level. Are you telling me you don't want to win and be the man? That you'll sacrifice being the man? Hey, Gil, will you give that, whatever, 27, 28 points per game season, whatever he had, right?
Yeah.
Would you give that up for 16 points a game and be like a side character on a winning team? Would you do that, Gil? Or do you want to be the fucking man? And win? Like, come on. I think Shaq's kind of talking about that. Granted, Golden State was very hospitable, right? Where they were like, hey, KD, do your thing, man. Steph's like, I'll take a backseat to this. You fucking do your thing. You be the fucking man. They let him be the man there in Golden State, didn't they? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a little bit of a different circuit, but it's still, you're joining. There's already the man there. There's already a core there. There's already superstars, Hall of Famers there. You're just kind of putting them over the top when they were already over the top. You're just adding to it, I guess. And it's like and the perception is like it's almost like you needed them to boost yourself up to title territory. As far as what the audience sees, because you didn't win anywhere else. You could beat KD was fucking amazing in those finals. Clutch, daggers, killer. Defensive, he played the best defense of his life when he was on the Warriors in those playoff runs, bro. He was above average defender when he was doing all that shit. But I'm sorry that weird little perception's gonna be there, man. I'm sorry, KD. As great as you were, as much as you were the man, and in my opinion, you were the man of that team. People were like, well, they could have won without him anyways. Where it's like, you're just like, it's like you're piggybacking off of what this franchise has done in these several years, and you're winning a title off of it. You're not 38 years old, fucking Tracy McGrady with a bunch of knee injuries, joining the Spurs to be a fucking ninth man off the bench, and then try to win a title that way. Like Tracy McGrady did that, right?
Yeah.
But that's different than you in your prime joining other players in their prime to like team up and just win a title. For the sake of winning a title, for the sake of a narrative about your legacy or your career, which is what you did in what it looks like, at least. That's what LeBron did. That's what it looks like, at least. I'm not going to say I'm reading their minds. Maybe they're like, we'll have more fun here. But at the same time, they just left. Right? So it's like kind of hard to make that argument that they're there for the sake of like their basketball. Like, oh, this is the basketball nirvana for me. But you guys won and left. So that's why it doesn't look so good. Right? If you stayed there, like, this is the place I wanted to be in the first place, you would have stayed there. But both LeBron and KD both left those teams after they won titles, bro.
Yeah.
In fact,
LeBron's excuse is like, oh no, I wanted to go home.
Yeah. It was for legacy's sake, and I still think he uses that to this day. I think his fans use it to this day. But the 4 titles, they use that. And it's like, Sorry, guess what? Normal fans are not going to let you forget about super teams. They're not going to let you forget about that. And even when you did have a super team, you failed once, man. You failed in the beginning. KD went there and just won outright. Like we're the best team, we win now. And he did it in dominating fashion. That looks better to me than going there and shitting the fucking bed against the Mavericks like that. Sorry to bring it up again, but it is what it is. All right, let's play this video. I could rant on that for a while.
Where am I
For the play.
playing?
But they got two bigs.
They already got two bigs.
Yeah, it's two bigs already in
Ja-
money.
Jazz,
And they don't need it.
Jazz,
Carl
they don't have no money.
Carl Malone.
Salt Lake City, too.
So that's
Because it's
number
not
two.
about money, Gil.
Third best
You already
team.
said it already, so let it run.
Lakers.
Lakers.
Oh shit, and they got money.
And they don't got nobody over there.
They got all stars.
Oh my gosh, bro.
He goes to the team,
But they don't have
That's what I'm
the
saying.
difference
They don't
maker.
got no Karl Malone. They don't
And
got
they-
no
and they
Tim
probably
Duncan
had
or
Jerry-
David
You're not
Robinson.
really-
They don't got nobody over there.
Listen, are you not listening?
There's no
I
man
know
there.
we always both right.
Hold on.
There's no
Listen.
castle there, as Rashad
Trying
would
to do what
say.
Shaq did. There's a team list. Boom. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. My black ass is going exactly down the list. They don't need me. Okay, 2. They can't afford me. 3. Ooh. They got all the money I want. Let me go here.
Makes sense.
You're still going to the number one option exactly for you.
Exactly. There's no man here, right? They can pay me.
Yeah.
It's LA. Like, yes, that was probably all considered during his decision making process. 100%.
I think also, but to be fair, I think one point he is trying to make is you can't have somebody else like Jordan or one of these people and pay both of them what they want.
Yes.
Now you could.
Yes, and I consider it, but now we're doing mind reading. Like, what would Shaq do in 1990 fucking 8 or 9 or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck year it
Yeah,
is?
right.
Like, what would he do mentally if he saw LA had enough money, but prime Kobe Bryant and prime fucking, I don't know, Pau Gasol is there? Like, now what does Shaq do? Would Shaq just join that? Like, Gil is saying, like, he just joined the fucking team, obviously. When Shaq's premise is that he wouldn't join that team based on the culture that he understands. So then it's up to mind reading and things that didn't exist, right? As much as Gil wants to use the logic of like, oh, well, they couldn't afford him, so it's not even realistic in the first place. Of that reality, the other thing could be a reality, but we're not considering it. That could be a reality, but he's ignoring that as being possibly part of reality. That's kind of where I'm going with this.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, that's where I'm at. So I was just trying to play devil's advocate.
Fair enough. All right, here we go.
On
The
top.
third best team with the money. If they didn't have the money, he was not going there.
That's
So
probably true.
use the
Probably true.
narrative
Yeah, it's
that
probably
you
true.
want to make him look guilty when you look guilty in the same type
But
of narrative.
if Shaq sit here and say, Gil, you're wrong because I
But
didn't say
KD
any of the
didn't go
shit that
there
you're
for the money. Not in the what is it? Not in the what is it? The acute sense of just money. I need money. He didn't go there for that.
Well, it's a
He went there.
team. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Well, it's a team that could pay him, but also he could find the championships there as well at the same time. They could pay him, and he can win the championships.
What I'm trying to say is that his logic is reversed with KD, where any team could pay him.
Yeah.
The fucking Magic could have paid him.
Yep.
The fucking Wizards could have paid. The Wizards wanted him to come.
Yeah.
Like, please, KD, come. And KD, he's like, I'm not going. He could have got paid by. No one could pay him more than OKC by the new CBA.
True. Of returning players. Yeah.
Still had Russ there. He decided to leave and go, and not only leave, but go somewhere where, like I said before, it was a foregone conclusion. You go here, you win.
Yeah.
Convincingly, convincingly is too nice.
True.
It's like the sun coming up. That's how it was. That's how certain your win. the winning was going to happen for you.
Very true. And then once again, Gil's premise is that they were like Shaq would have did the same thing. Like if the Bulls were open to being able to pay him, Shaq would have went to the Bulls. Shaq
Yeah,
is
like
saying, I would not have done that.
Yeah, like
That's where we're at here.
if Jordan didn't get paid $30 million a year, and Shaq's like, all right, I'm gonna go, and it's Shaq instead of Cartwright. There's no chance they're not winning another 3 or 4 times in a row.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And but it would be like, yeah, I would. That's not my mentality to do that.
Yeah. Well, the glory's lost because Jordan's going to average fucking 28 points per game. And Shaq on that team is going to average 18 to 20 points per game. And Pippen's going to average 15 to 18 points per game. Like, everyone's like status kind of goes down except for like MJ's the man there. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. He's going to be the man.
And it's like, yo, please spare me. You're not gonna compare a 32 or 33-year-old Barkley to a 27, 26-year-old KD.
Yeah.
Going for where Barkley he already did I'm the man thing. He already did the Phoenix and Philly thing. Now, all right, like I've already tried to do it on my own.
Yes.
Now like I'm in my twilight years.
Yes.
I'm in the golden age of my career.
And also, to be fair to LeBron, what it looked like, what that franchise was doing in Cavalier when he was first there in Cleveland, it didn't look like they were like they were trying to like put real players around him like that. His team was not the greatest fucking team in the world around him. Honestly, like they didn't put the best role players or anything around him like that. So I understand him looking for better pastures, but to say
it's what he did, yeah, it's what he did.
Yeah, exactly.
Him leaving, no problem. You want to leave? No problem with Shaq left. No problem.
His options were open. LeBron's way more open than Shaq's were.
Yeah, LeBron could have went to the Knicks, and he could have had his own. The team would have been revolved around him. He went to settle. He could have went to Toronto, wherever. He could have went anywhere.
Yeah.
Like you're the man. We're gonna build around you.
Yeah. If it's the owner that's like stingy with signing talent, even though they had a large payroll, I believe, but the talent, like they just had maybe a shitty GM or something to build around LeBron. Whatever the case was, he could have went to a different team to where they maybe have a better GM and they're better spending their money, because once you get LeBron James, like yeah, kind of the floodgates kind of open as far as spending money, because he's going to generate a shit ton of money for you. He is. So maybe you can open up the books and look for this player or that player as secondary players to LeBron James.
He did that. The problem was that he fucking made a backdoor deal with Chris Bosh and to go team up with Dwayne Wade. But he did have a good infrastructure. I'd say the best infrastructure he ever had was with Pat Riley.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, Pat Riley can judge basketball talent. Maybe the Cleveland people couldn't. I don't know. But
Cleveland people, he's led GM. He's led GM.
Oh, if it was him calling shots, then there's no mercy for me. No mercy then. If he was actually calling, hey, let's go get Mo Williams. Let's go get.
That's the whole conspiracy theory behind Rich Paul. Fucking Tristan Thompson gets paid. All these guys get paid.
If that gets light on it one day and that becomes like the official thing, LeBron admits it and all that shit, there's no excuse. Like, it's over then. Now it's just over.
I just need one of a disgruntled Cleveland executive from that time. Like, all right, give me the scoop. The NDA, the embargo's lifted. The NDA's over. What? How did LeBron? Well, like, bro, this is the thing. It's how do I put it? There's a human element of he's a superstar player. He get in the NBA above any other sport. he gets a say in who he wants to play with.
Nowadays,
So like,
yes.
yeah. But even when he like by the time he got to Miami, that's kind of like the premise was already there.
Yeah.
So like he will try to hide behind that. If he at first he'll deny. If you were to press him on this, deny. No, that's not true. I would never do. I would never impose like that. Whatever. But even like all right. I pray like he's done denying. He'll be like, well, I'm the star. I'm LeBron James. Of course, I'm gonna have a say. It's like okay, fine, but then why the fuck did the same thing happen in LA that happened in Cleveland, where it was like it was a revolving door of trade asset, bring me this guy that LeBron likes, trade asset, bring me, and then it started to become trade asset, bring me this guy that LeBron likes, and Rich Paul's is conveniently his agent. And it's like,
AD.
oh, that shit was over and over. It's like that's why like his shit is like, yeah, his shit is like so like KD's like, all right, there was cowardice behind with KD and shit. It's just like a side topic of like, yo, like this dude is literally like he's a tyrannical when it comes to roster construction. The way, remember how they got rid of the Israeli coach, brought in Ty Lue.
Yeah. In
Same thing.
Cleveland. Yeah.
Same thing in LA with Frank Vogel. Get him out of here. After you wanted him, you got rid of Luke Walton. Get rid of him. Got rid of Frank Vogel. This guy, same thing. Get rid of him. The
Yeah.
guy he has now.
Yeah.
We're kind of getting off topic, but yeah, I could rant on that
No,
shit.
that's a good point, man. That's a good point. And I've
I
heard
can
people
rant
talk
on
about
all.
that. I've heard people talk about this shit.
Yeah, I've heard.
Of
Bro, we used to like, bro, we used to be betting and shit, like, and then like these guys would tell me like, yo, like it's clear as day, like this guy, and okay, back to what I wanted to say. The place where he had the best structure around him was the place that told him no. I'm not taking this
Miami.
player. Yeah, I'm not taking this player because you told me to. I don't believe he meshes with what we're trying to do. And then that was one of the reasons this guy left and shit, and he like left them in shambles. They had to pick up the pieces when he left.
Yeah.
The Chris Bosh,
Oh, his
the
heart
betting,
thing.
and they gave him a max right
Yeah.
before the heart. Not
Yeah.
that mattered. They didn't really have to pay. It was insurance.
Yeah.
But it's still like that's who they were gonna, and they would have been okay had he played. But
I,
I think he played 1 or 2 years after LeBron, and he was like scoring like high 20s. He was like a high 20 and 10 guy. Like he was really in the zone.
yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, like yeah, bro, it's like a liability to play you in this game. You may die on the court, and he was like, I don't go fuck. Let me play.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, bro, you can't play.
Yeah. And D-Wade was declining as well.
D-Wade was a shell of himself. Yeah.
And I've heard it in some other YouTube videos, like Too Raw, like from his channel. Fucking like leading the league in like trades. It's like trades as a team.
Yes,
Like
bro.
the team you're on is just like always trading and changing up rosters.
Yes, bro.
Like a video game shit. It's weird. It's like watching James playing fucking MLB The Show. Like this guy ain't producing. You need to trade him for someone else.
Yeah.
It's like yeah, god damn. It's like that type of shit. Like god damn.
But it's like okay, but that's another thing. It's I should just save it for. I'll say that for another day.
All right, up to you.
Anyways, yeah, let's finish this.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
Just saying. I said no, I said no, I said no, and then I said, you know what? Let me go here because this is the team that's open. This is the team with no stars, and I could take this team somewhere. I want to go here. Now, we won't know who.
He said no.
I
And it's
said,
LA.
and we won't know that until Shaq tell us what he said during the options that he was given. We can't put them options in his mouth. He the only one that can tell
I
us
hope
this what I
Shaq
said when they
answers
gave me all the
Yeah,
options
me too.
had.
I hope Shaq.
Who gave him all the options?
His agent.
Huh?
His agent.
Shaq sounds
Hey, Shaq,
cultural.
look, this is
This
free
guy
agency. We
sounds.
can go here, here, here.
Well, the
here.
numbers
Hey,
say.
man, I want to go here. It's L.A.
Uh,
Hollywood.
not Rashad.
You know me.
Gilbert.
I'm me.
Yeah.
Let's go here. Ain't nobody there.
There's a
Shit.
Hollywood in Orlando.
Let's go.
And Kenyon will cap for fucking Gilbert.
Hey, Shaq, you a free
I don't know why,
Yeah,
but he will.
It's a Hollywood
Apparently.
in Florida, not in Orlando.
I'm just saying.
It's a Hollywood in
Yeah,
Florida.
that's that way.
Florida, not in Orlando.
He's a free agent. Where you want to go?
Although Kenyon's a smart guy, like he's a smart guy, but
Yeah.
he'll fucking cap
I
for
like
Gilbert
Kenyon.
sometimes. Man.
I want to
He
go
will.
somewhere bigger.
Gilbert's a fucking smart guy too.
I'm Shaq.
But sometimes they're in defense of something.
It's a small
Like,
market.
are we trying to pretend that the motherfuckers didn't win 60 games, but now Jordan's back? So I can't win in the East, so let me go see what the best option is for me.
But they beat
You're talking about
they
a
beat
guy,
Jordan.
Orlando has all the money.
Didn't they beat Jordan?
Yeah. The year before.
Did they beat him though, right?
The year before, when Michael Jordan just got back.
I don't want to
I'm
hear.
an
I don't
Orlando
want to
Magic.
hear.
I'm an
I don't
Orlando
want to hear
Magic
those
fan.
excuses though.
No, that's not an excuse.
But you said he
I'm
left
the
'cause you couldn't
Orlando
beat Mike.
Magic fan.
You
So
said-
obviously, my daddy's Michael Jordan fan. So I'm celebrating like a motherfucker. Then they came back the next year, popped 60, 72 wins. Oh, I need to get the fuck out of here.
No, that wasn't.
I need to get the fuck out of
That
here.
wasn't it.
And he left.
That wasn't it. Shaq.
Maybe, but then we're mind readers at that. Like, we don't know. We don't know. Same goes with LeBron. We don't fucking know. We can't read his mind,
Yeah, well-
but the evidence is
well,
just
it's
kind of
like-
like overwhelming.
We're strictly. You said it earlier. Maybe I have a better, like I have a better not a better more confidence in what's gonna be capable for me in the future, going here as opposed to staying here.
He didn't know Kobe's gonna exist. He didn't know
No.
that at all.
But he probably like okay, like yeah, the money. Let's be honest, probably the number one thing on, because he kind of alluded to it, like where he grew up, like he the money was the number one thing, security, all that,
Yes.
and then came basketball and all those bells and whistles.
Yes. Agreed.
So so yeah, it's like he probably had made his mind up. He was leaving Orlando no matter what.
Most likely.
Well before this scenario he's painting with Jordan happened.
Yeah, I agree. And like, let's be honest. Like, look at this is. I think it's heavily important to put into context in regards to Shaquille O'Neal. Look at the personality that Shaquille O'Neal is.
Yeah.
Where is he better suited? Orlando or fucking actual Hollywood?
Yeah.
Like his personality fits more in LA. Like that's more of a thing. It's like it's to him. If I had to guess of his mindset at that time period, better pastures out there. Like they're not the worst. They're a decent. They're a good team, and I can be the man, and I get to go to LA and make my money. That's different than Orlando. Like, come on.
Yeah, so making a better business decision.
Who knows if he was scared of MJ or not? I don't know.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
and securing like a certain legacy, a certain foundation that seemed to be more on the forefront than the basketball stuff was. Basketball was just a conduit to him becoming Shaq. Instead of Shaquille O'Neal, he's Shaq.
Yeah, well, I think the basketball is important as fuck to him.
It is important, but that's not what he's fucking 100% focused on in regards to how he's operating.
I mean, what? Like, I would have to ask Gil. Like, what if he knew Kobe was coming? Right?
Yeah.
But let's say it's in '93 or something like that, where Shaq left, where Shaq went to the Lakers, right? And he's like, "Yo, Kobe's gonna develop in a couple of years, and then it's gonna be me and Kobe." And then is he still like just scared of Jordan at that point? Like, I don't think so.
No.
I think he's more like, we're competitors. We can be competitive about this thing. Maybe that's what Shaq and Penny were, but I don't think so. I think Kobe's a different animal. But I'm just saying. Like if we're gonna do hypotheticals, why not consider that? He's just saying like, well, MJ was like the scary guy here, so thus I go to I pick up my fucking suitcases, I run to LA because it's easier on the West Coast because MJ isn't here. I don't know that, man. I don't know that. And me saying that it's still a different context than the fucking LeBron going to the fucking Heat, man. To me, that's just different, man. It's absolutely different than what Shaq did. But Gilbert is trying to conflate those things as like the same caliber of moves. Of Shaq taking a risk and leaving Orlando to go to LA and doing this or that over there, which ended up paying off for him. But he's saying like that's, I don't know. He's saying like that's him running from the competition. Maybe. But I heard he had big troubles against Hakeem, who's in the fucking West. I don't know.
Hakeem with fucking Utah.
I mean, Shaq got to the finals, man, when MJ retired in the mid '90s, and Hakeem apparently did work on him. Apparently,
Yeah.
Won 2 straight fucking titles. But all right, here we go.
Shaq.
One of those was the Knicks, I think.
It was.
Yeah.
No, it did.
Yeah, he ain't gonna tell. What the fuck he gonna tell that story for? Why he left?
Rashad's like, yo, Shaq, pull up.
Shaq, you think I just come on here just talking already ass? Shaq, already done it. The deal was already done. That's why when it made news, they're like, oh shit, Shaq left. Yeah, it was already done at the table. Fuck, we talking about?
Yeah, the Olympics that year.
Oh, for sure.
He also came out that summer.
Yeah.
Shaq food.
He knew. Yeah, he knew where he was going.
Because then
Yeah, he knew he was going to LA, but what does that have to do with the question in front of you, Gilbert?
Because there was no social media
Read the
back then.
letters underneath your fucking body right now.
There's no players that call him out because the media then didn't call him out. So when they say this shit, the media's not going to call him out now.
Call him out for what?
The problem. See,
Wait. What are they supposed to call Shaq out for?
He went to an inferior team than the one he left. But somehow they were a better team.
Is Gilbert reading the caption right underneath his, like right on his belly right now? If I knew it was acceptable, I would have joined a super team. Gilbert, are you addressing that? Other than contracts and money things, but hypothetically, like if it was possible, Shaq is saying he would not have joined those teams. How are you addressing that by saying what you're saying right now? It's been gone over a million times. Let's let it play.
They don't. When have you noticed every time I research one of them motherfuckers, they don't never respond. Whenever I research them and give them their truth, they don't respond.
Shaq.
Sounds like me in my comment section.
Diesel.
Yeah.
With movies, though.
Trying to get this, man.
All I'm saying is you got to explain why you had 60 wins and left. I mean,
That's
you know.
Shaq, if you would like to refute
You're number
any of
2 in
Gil's
the East.
claims-
Why would you leave such a great situation?
Shaq, if you would like to refute Gil's
For a
claims,
super team?
pull up to Gil's
Yeah.
percent about Underdog Fantasy. Woo,
What
woo.
happened in Orlando after Shaq left?
We went downhill.
What happened in
What is
LA
the
when
question?
Shaq
What is
got
the-
there?
Okay, what is the question?
I just wanted to know.
I just want to know why you would leave. You have 60 wins and your team is popping.
Because when I left, my team didn't have 60 wins no more.
Or you just, because I know if Jordan never came back, Orlando was winning the championship.
It's just like LeBron leaving.
He might have left
And then
anyway.
That's 60 wins.
Moving.
Hey,
He
no.
might have left anyways.
Taking my talents to South Beach.
So-
because why? It's a bigger
'Cause I wanna
fucking
win.
market out here.
So that's exactly
More
what-
bigger market out here.
Yes.
But y'all kind of
So-
saying the same thing, two different.
But he don't want to blame. That's what I'm saying. He does that. He does the same thing, but this is what he does.
He don't want to let me win.
So if LeBron is being penalized for it, why aren't we pulling the people who are trying
Trying
to
to-
throw the narrative?
Yeah. I'm with you.
Stop
He didn't join a super team.
Stop
That's
tearing
why.
down. Stop tearing down this era. What
He
they're
didn't?
doing when they're following the era. Stop tearing down the era, talking about their prima donnas when you was a prima donna. Stop doing that.
Do you see the conflation here, where it doesn't make sense? Actually, like the situations don't make sense. Whether or not, if it was possible, if players had the freedom with their free agency and the markets were bigger and the cap spaces were bigger and all that shit, we don't know that. We don't know. We're going off of Shaq's fucking premise. It's like, guess what? If Shaq actually believes what he's saying in that clip, then yes, he has the right to fucking put down LeBron for joining fucking Miami or KD joining the fucking Warriors. And this idea of a super team. He has that point if he actually believes that. But you're not giving him that point, Gilbert. You're saying he does not. There's no way he believed that. He would have joined any super team he could have if they could afford him.
Yeah.
He's saying, like, so you're just skipping over that point instead of addressing it. And it's like, I don't know. It's annoying, actually. But all right, there we go. You remember Rashad? Rashad, as much as he gets wrecked, he's saying that. He's like, Rashad is repeating that over and over and over again, but it's not being listened to, I don't think, which is wild. But here we go.
Because social media gets to carry yours when the social media didn't exist there. But you was prima donnas too. You did the same thing. You pouted and complained, right? Do we have to go back to articles?
What does that have to do with anything?
Go back to Gary Payton saying
Pouted and complained. What does that have to do with anything? Yeah, we know that.
LA, Dwayne Wade was going back and forth with Kobe, and you like, oh, hold on. He wants to shake his head. Can you go to the first time they played the Lakers and see how many shots Shaq shot and see how many shots Wade shot? And then when they went to Sacramento, who didn't play because he was pissed off? Please don't tell me it was Shaquille O'Neal. And then Gary Payton had to say, hey, hold on, big fella. If we're trying to win, we have to give him the team.
Has nothing to do with the point.
That was in the article.
I don't just say shit.
I'm just saying.
Okay, that has nothing to do with the point at all. But I get it. It's NBA insider gossip shit. Got it.
Was that in the article?
Got it.
Article?
That was good. What?
Where did this information come? This came from an article?
So, hey,
First day
one
Miami
thing
had Lakers on Christmas.
If you ain't
Say it again.
know nothing
Hold on.
about this motherfucker, he just ain't gonna say it.
So first game, Miami at Lakers. I remember being in the Fox Hills Mall during that time. Shaq came back through. It was a momentous occasion.
And then he got caught with his best friend's girlfriend. And he makes gestures at the crowd and shit, like, look at me. Like, what does that have to do with the fucking point? At all. What does that have to do with the fucking point? He's doing that, man. Whatever. Like, come on,
back
man.
in LA. Shaq the Claus, whatever he called himself at that point.
Let's not be silly about those. He's doing the facial gestures at the camera right now.
And then,
Hold on.
Who they play next game? Was it Sacramento?
I think it was Atlanta, but let me double check. Shaq!
I mean, I thought you was his defense attorney.
Shaq, pull up.
Pull up, Shaq.
You itchy around here. You're a little itchy around here. I'm
You're
just
the
saying-
prosecutor.
but I'm just saying-
I'm the
It's kind of super
But I'm just
insulting,
saying,
actually,
hey,
but
you're the
that's
prosecutor, I'm the
whatever.
defense.
What I'm saying is, remember, Dwayne Wade was on in the second year, and he wasn't trying to get that team over. What ended up happening is, when Gary Payton came the following year, and they had this little stretch without Shaq, and they seen the young fella doing his thing, Gary Payton had to sit Shaq down and said, we need to move. He's on record saying it. He's on record saying it, that he had to tell Shaq to stand down because Shaq wasn't giving it up. Just like he didn't want to give it up to Cole. So you're saying he can't give it up to Cole, but then he gonna give it up for a second-year player? I know he went on record saying, I had to sit, young fella down and say, this is your team. If it's not Kobe's team, but you come here to a second-year player and say, yo, this is your team? Let's be honest. Like, why we? I know we're trying to clean up our shit, but history is history.
So it was his team.
What does it have to do with the point?
The first year, that's the reason they didn't win. Yeah.
What does that have to do with the fucking point?
And then Gary Payton, they got all them veterans, and them veterans had to sit down and say,
happy I
This is-
got to
this
hear
is his
that.
team.
Okay.
And then
my
that's-
team, and then
that's
I'm
when-
gonna vote come in here.
And then
But
we
it's
took the
the
back
same,
seat. Yeah, we
bro.
trying to
It's the
win.
same thing I brought up earlier.
God.
He was already exiting his prime when he left Kobe.
Yes.
Shaq was specifically talking about the 24-year-old that was a free agent and decided to go to LA. Where it's like, oh my god, this guy's at his apex.
Yeah.
And he's like, he never thought of, yo, let me go team up with the best team in the league. And just
Exactly.
destroy the league. He was like, no, that was frowned upon. That wasn't something we ever tried to do.
Exactly.
Once you're like, it's all right. He was the man in LA. He pretty much felt like he accomplished everything he could accomplish, and he was having friction with Kobe. Like
Yeah.
you said, what does that have to do with his point? Like we're already like
Nothing.
5 steps. Yeah, we're already 5 steps removed from what he was talking.
This has nothing to do with that. Especially if he's talking about KD, it's like even when the Warriors lost to the Cavs, the Warriors were still considered the best team in the league, bro. They broke their winning record that year, I think, and then lost to the Cavs in the finals in a kind of like a weird way,
In a weird way, yeah.
where people were like, "Yeah, the Warriors are still the best team," and then he joins it. Like that's a different context than what Shaq did. Either from Shaq going to LA or Shaq, did he get traded or something to Miami? What was the
Yes.
Miami thing? You got
Yeah.
traded? Okay.
He demanded a trade and got it.
Okay. It's those are different scenarios by a mile than what we're talking about with the new shit. But I guess Gil's gonna use some past gossip shit, or maybe it could be real. I don't know. Whatever he's
I think-
using doesn't apply to what we're asking
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
The question.
I think what he's saying is factual. It's just, it doesn't matter. Like, he was disgruntled with Kobe. He asked for a trade. It is not the same as he is a free agent with free reign to go anywhere, and he's 24 years old. And he decides he's going to go to the team that already has an established, like, juggernaut. He instead went to somewhere where it's not the worst situation in the world, granted. But he's like, I can plant my flag here. This is my team. Like you said, this is my castle.
Exactly. And as Kenyon said, at some point, either he's going to say it or maybe he already said it about like these motherfuckers lost. Like KD lost to them the year before, like that year, the year before he leaves to go to Golden State. He lost to them in a tough fucking battle, and right in the conference finals, I think.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, we're like rivals, in a way, and you guys beat me, and now I'm like, fuck. You know what? I'm gonna join you. That's the way it looks. I'm not saying that's KD's psychological, motivations or anything like that. I'm just saying that that's how it looks.
Yeah, even this fuckboy Gilbert would have said that shit. Like, oh, like
Yeah.
you were psychologically broken up because you had them 3-2 and Law gave the series up, and then he said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just go join him." Like, it's clear as day.
But part of me, I'm sorry, maybe I watched too much LeBron, quote unquote LeBron hater videos, where like this seems more like about LeBron than it does about KD. Man. Like in my opinion, it's where it's like, it's just a defense for that type of shit, where we clearly saw it happen, and you're trying to tell me that didn't happen. Like, no, everyone would have did this. MJ would have did this.
So yeah,
Like, come on.
yeah, right after I think this is right after Shaq lost to the Pistons, July 14th, 2004.
Yeah.
He was traded to Miami for Lamar Odom, Caron Butler, Brian Grant, and a future first round pick.
That's after 04. Like, come on, man. And you're telling me he's supposed to, like, yeah, I'm going to go to a super team in Miami. I'm going to team up with Dwayne Wade. Like, Dwayne Wade wasn't Dwayne Wade at that point. Like, stop
Dude,
it.
literally, What did it, Luke? Wasn't it? Yeah, he literally ended a 4-year finals streak where he went to the finals 4 years in a row and went 3-1 with Kobe. And then
Yes.
he left. It was literally an act of emotion.
Yes.
Kobe fucking probably tweaked on his ass and he's like, I'm out of here.
Hit Kobe. I think wanted. It's like I think they bring it up in this video. Like it's either me or him type of thing. And Shaq's like, I'm out of here type of thing. I think both were on the table at the same time.
Yeah, like
It's not the same what we're talking about here, though. That's what
yeah, the Beatles broke up. It's not the same as John Lennon wanted to go join the fucking Rolling Stones.
yeah. John was like, you know what? The Rolling Stones, they're looking pretty good over there, man. Let me join them. And, let me bring Led Zeppelin in with us. From Toronto. Or whatever. Let me bring Russian from Toronto. Let me bring them in here. Let's join forces and make a super band. Like, no. Like, it's... But they're kind of, like, dismissing... Like, Gilbert is dismissing that. 100% he is.
I'm going to Rolling Stones. I'm bringing Michael Jackson with me.
It's not the...
LeBron did.
They're trying to pretend like that didn't happen. Like, bullshit, man. We saw this shit go down, man. In my lifetime, I watched it happen as it was happening. I watched the fucking decision, bro. Live on fucking TV, man. Yeah. Watch that shit. Fuck out of here.
We watched KD literally get wrecked in fucking real time.
Like, come on, man. But he's trying to make it seem like it's all about free agency freedom that they didn't have. If they had it, they would have did this. But we don't fucking know that, Gil. We don't know what these guys would have did. You're saying there's a culture, and you're saying like, oh no, throw that in the fucking garbage. Fuck that shit. And they would have did this because this is how you behave as a human being. You automatically join the best possible scenario no matter what. Even if there's 12 other fucking superstars on the team, doesn't matter. You join them. Like who? Maybe that wasn't the way it was, Gilbert. But he's like pridefully doing that, and then he's like doubling down by saying some outside stories that have nothing to fucking do with this. He's bringing that shit in here to like double down on that, and it's like weird. I don't know. I have no explanation for any of this, for what Gil is saying, and Kenyon kind of co-signing it. He's kind of co-signing it, but not putting up enough of an argument against it. Because come on, man, it looks silly. Admit it, that looks silly. But let's 6 minutes left. Here we go. It's frustrating.
You don't need to Google. I did.
Here we go.
Already. It's already Google. So you can just go to the next topic. He ain't got nothing else to say.
Shaq.
It's just a battle against his friend. Fair enough, then.
What is it? What is he spoke his truth.
I just want him to come on the show.
Oh, okay.
I just want him to say something.
It ain't nothing. No, I'm saying it ain't nothing that there's. I'm just saying don't throw stones. Don't throw stones at players. Like if his legacy is tainted, then we might need to just go back through history. Then we just need to just open up the history books and then say, all right. Hey, Barkley, when you wanted to trade out of Philly, your first request was Portland? Why Portland? Oh, they went to the championship the year before, so adding you, that's a guaranteed win. Okay, because you couldn't be Michael Jordan in Philly, so your ass had to go here. And then second option was Suns.
Phoenix.
That's amazing. See, you add you to them, that makes y'all a championship contender. Did y'all go to the championship? Yep, y'all did. Y'all went to the championship. So you being controlled by these two guys, and then you won MVP, then it becomes your team the following year. And what happened now after that? Oh, lost first round. So you won championship first round, didn't make the playoffs, and then you demanded out. And where did you want to go? The goddamn two-time champions want to go there? Where did y'all go? Western Conference Finals, and then the following year, you done soaked your feet into it. And what did y'all do? First round, lost. Your ass had to retire. So basically everywhere you go, God damn it. Your first year is successful. Then after that is just.
What are you talking about? 76ers. Who was on this team?
Moses Malone and Dr. J. That's when they went to the Eastern Conference Finals.
And Maurice Cheeks.
And then the following year when it was his team.
And who was on that Portland team?
Clyde Drexler and all. Yeah.
And who?
Terry Porter. Yeah, they went to the championship.
Name them again. I just want to hear your names compared to the 76ers. So he's leaving.
No, he got drafted.
He's leaving 3.
No. No. Don't do that. Hold on, no.
I'm just asking.
Okay. Since you asked.
Trying to math it.
Okay, here.
So if it's just Clyde Drexler,
I'll give you the math.
it ain't.
I'll give you the math.
Was Kevin Duckworth still there?
What happened is when he got drafted to Philly, he was not happy with it because where he was going and then the money that they promised him wasn't it. So he didn't even want to be there. Right? He did not want to be there. Did not want to be there. They already had superstars, right? He's not that dude coming off the bench a little bit. They leave and then it becomes his team. So they went to the Eastern Conference, finals, and he's third, fourth option on the team. When those guys, think about the names I'm saying, Moses Malone and Dr. J, they're old. They leave, then it's his team, and then from there, just like any follower, we're going to make a left, and then we're just going to go downhill from here. And when he had enough of going downhill, he wanted to go to Clyde Drexler and them who went to the championship. 50-something wins. Like, they had 50-something, even Phoenix Suns.
Is that a different context than KD and LeBron James? It is.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
Like Shaq had Penny, right? Shaq had Penny.
Sure. Yeah.
Joe Dumars had Isaiah.
But the perception in the league is, at that time period, KD is the number 2 player in the league, and LeBron James is the number 1 fucking player in the league. When they both leave, right? They're number 1s and number 2s. Okay, KD is number 1, other than fucking LeBron James in that time period. So it's like it's a different context than Charles leaving. I don't know, man. Like I kind of get where he's going with that. Of like, hey, these guys will chase championships too, but it's much different when you're the number 1 guy and you join with the number 3 or 4 guy, and also the 7 or 8 guy to try to win a championship, right? I think that's different.
Yeah, it is different.
It's much different, but not the Gilbert. All about money and contracts and all that shit.
He had enough of going downhill. He wanted to go to Clyde Drexler and them who went to the championship. 50-something wins. Like, they had 50-something. Even Phoenix Suns, 55 wins, 53 wins, 55 wins. That's where he decided to land his feet.
Yeah,
Remember,
to
he
win.
was so happy
Sure.
that they chose him.
But to be the man when they do win.
Thank you, Mr. Colangelo.
To be the man that puts him over the top and be like, yo, I'm the reason why they actually won a title. That's the glory thing, man. He's ignoring that for some reason. But I don't.
Well, he's trying to say that that wasn't the case when he went to Phoenix.
That what like what? That what wasn't the case? That he was the man as soon as he showed up?
Yeah, that he
Who wasn't? Dan Marley? Kevin Johnson?
I'm telling you. Well, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting from this guy that he wanted to be under someone else's shadow. That's the premise that's the fucking story he's trying to tell us.
Yeah, he's pretending like, I guess, Hakeem and Magic were both there in Phoenix waiting for Charles Barkley or something.
That's how he's trying to make it seem.
Yeah.
He's talking about 51. Like, dude, I don't give a fuck about how many wins, bro. Who the fuck is playing on those teams?
Exactly.
51's here, 61's there.
50 wins, 60 wins. Jimmy Butler runs through them in the playoffs. Like, okay, that's different. Like, you need, I don't know, man. I think it's a silly thing I'm hearing right now. But here we go. Here's more Gil. A couple minutes left.
That's what you wore in college. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's kind of disrespectful, by the way.
To a team that wanted him. That he wore 23 in the goddamn All-Star. I've never, ever in my life seen a dude who has his own fucking number, 34. Go to the All-Star game and think another person. I appreciate
If he has a beef
you.
with TNT,
Thank you,
and
master.
I don't think he was. I don't think
that's
he-
some
I
crazy
don't think that's a
disrespect right
verbatim.
there.
I don't like no whips and
I don't think
chains.
that's what he's.
Let me hear. What was the
Some
quote?
crazy
What was the
disrespect
quote
right
why he
there.
wore 23.
It's not.
I don't
it's
think
not
that was
mathing.
verbatim.
Math not mathing, man. It's not mathing. The math not mathing.
What's not
It
mathing?
sounds good.
What is not mathing?
It's just not mathing.
Which part? Which part is confusing to you?
Any of it.
Which part is confusing to you?
Him leaving the team he was on to go play with these guys on the West, leaving the East.
Who's in the
to go to the West,
West?
where the records are different, of course. You know, oh yeah, they have a better record, and they have a better record, but I went and go
He
play
said
with a team.
Jerry got me out of purgatory was, I believe, the quote.
So
The positioning of my position, being able to be open in Portland. Who did they have at power forward?
nobody.
Okay, who did they have in Phoenix at power forward?
Nobody.
Okay, so it makes sense for me to implement myself into a place that needed me.
A place that
Needed my position. They need my position in this place. I don't want to be over here.
Golden
I never wanted
State
to be
did not
here.
need
Get me the
KD.
fuck out of here. Where can I go?
Exactly. Exactly. They're gonna
They
ask
had
that.
Iguodala, and that's good enough to win. They had other. Who else they have? They had Iguodala. They had someone else when he was there. Or they Harrison Barnes, bro.
Harrison Barnes. Yes.
They had to get rid of Harrison Barnes to get him.
If you look at the 2016 finals, you can easily make a case like, oh yeah, Warriors could have won that shit. There were some weird circumstances when I was watching it, personally for me. But throw that out the fucking window. Either way, the team is capable of winning the fucking title that year. Like, on paper, capable of doing it. So, this isn't like, the missing piece. It's like, it's not that, in my opinion. And I think you agree with me on that, based on what you just said.
Yeah.
It isn't a missing piece scenario. It's a now we're just over the top of piece type of thing. But all right, here we go.
My position in this place. I don't want to be over here. I never wanted to be here. Get me the fuck out of here. Where can I go on the West?
Did the Warriors not need KD position?
See that? You see how you do that?
Yes, they needed a small forward.
Okay.
Why? Why did they need a small forward?
Harrison Barnes.
No. The year before, they lost because
LeBron James.
And who was guarding him?
Nobody.
There was no offset for that.
So
Opening. Here's an opening.
So why is Kevin Durant going to a place he going to a good team that needs him? Charles Barkley was trying to go to a team that won 6, that went to the championship, and they say, if you add me in this position, boom.
Because I don't want to be here.
Okay. And Kevin Durant didn't
I don't want to.
So why are we?
I don't want to be here.
You see how we that's my thing. The same thing. So why are we penalizing them? And you guys are like, oh yes.
I never said that the KD situation was a bad situation. This is what he's saying. But I'm saying that Shaq's morality of why it is a bad decision comes from the fact that it wasn't allowed to do that shit back then, in his mind.
I don't give a fuck about his mind. Reality is reality.
So let's.
In my mind, I'm the great, just like you do. I'm the greatest motherfucker of all time. And then there's reality.
Okay. Whatever. Okay. Sure, I understand some points, but the overall point was just never addressed. I don't even think. I don't think it was even addressed. The overall point, because whatever Charles did, I guess Gilbert is calling that a super team that he joined with Houston, right? Late in his career, like joining Houston.
No, he even means well, he means that he tried to join Portland.
Yeah, even before that, yeah.
Then he went to fucking Phoenix.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Phoenix had nothing Nothing special, bro. He was the man there. Fucking Danny Ainge, Cedric Sabalu, Tom Chambers, Richard Dumas, Frank and Kevin Johnson.
No, apparently it was a super team he was building in Phoenix.
He was
Okay.
the only one that scored over 20.
Yeah, but that was the point of the whole exchange we just saw, man. It's about super teams, and clearly Charles
Like,
joins
if I
Phoenix
go to
super team.
Golden State, if I go to Golden State 2018, bro, what am I gonna find?
Like, I think it's such a super team that like like you said, like if you can't even play basketball, you're just like the six man, like not six man. You're the last guy on the bench. You might win a ring, bro. You might get a ring just by just being there. Now imagine adding KD with his skill set. Now it's like different, right?
Dude, two guys scoring 26 a game, bro, and Klay Thompson scoring 20.
But Clay's capable of 35 a game.
Yeah, 35 a game. Yeah.
Steph is
Andre Iguodala's just chilling.
yeah.
Nick Young chilling. Sean Livingston chilling.
Well, yeah, they're not taking their roster into account. It's just more of I don't even know, man. I don't understand Gilbert's logic with all of this, other than like maybe clickbait.
This team is crazy.
Maybe that's the point. It's clickbait.
This
I
team
don't
is-
know.
Quinn Cook. I remember Quinn Cook.
I do too, man. I remember him at fucking Duke. I watched him play at Duke. But yeah,
Patrick McGraw. I remember Patrick McGraw.
yes,
Sean Livingston.
Livingston. Yeah, really good role. Like
They
they're
literally
not even
had,
great
bro,
role players. They're okay role
they
players.
literally had. And all these guys were perimeter defenders, bro. And then they had JaVale McGee, David West, Kevin Looney.
Yeah. Even like Steph became like he made himself kind of a role player for the sake of KD. Like that team was like amazing. Actually, they were amazing.
Field goal attempts. Clay 16 a game. Durant 18. He led the team. Curry 17 a game. And then Draymond 8, almost 9 a game. Iguodala 5. Cook 7. Nick Young 6. Like it was a very balanced team around two all-time scorers
Yes.
and the best corner guy, the best 3-and-D guy in the league.
Yes.
A super 3D guy. Let's be fair. A super
Hall of Fame worthy 3-and-D player. Actually, his shooting is off the charts, and then he played all right defense. He played pretty good defense.
Yeah.
So
Shooting 44% from 3. He led the team.
yeah.
Him and Quinn Cook led the team in threes. 3%. Yeah, 3 percentage.
And you have two guys that can play any type of like offensive role.
KD was shooting 51%, bro.
Steph and KD can play any offensive role they want to play. Well, not okay. Maybe not Steph all of it, but if they're like being unselfish, like yeah, they can play wherever the fuck they want it, man. Like it is what it is. They can catch and shoot. They can run off screens. They can be decoys. They could be off the dribble scorers, ISO scorers. Like good luck. You have two of them, two all-time greats at that thing of scoring the fucking basketball. Like yeah, good luck. And they were unselfish. That's the main point. They were unselfish. It's not like Luka and Kyrie, right? Where it's like you go, I go, you go, I go. It's more of we can run offenses here. I can stick KD in the post off a fucking screen, off a back screen, and he'll probably score. I can run Steph off screens and get him an open jump shot from mid range or 3-point, or where he pump fakes and goes to the basket and scores, or dumps it off and passes it or whatever and get an inside bucket. Like it's Sorry, these guys are. Like, come on, man. I don't know where Gilbert's going with any of that, in my opinion. Once again, to the main point, the Shaq thing. I don't see where Gilbert makes a point about that at all. I think he skips over it and goes into gossip about like what Shaq maybe did in his past, and also his own interpretation of what players would do if they had the freedoms that we have today. Of hey, if Shaq had the option, he would definitely go to the Bulls and just go with Michael Jordan and win, 5 straight fucking titles. We don't fucking know that, man. We don't know. But I'll leave it up to interpretation. It's fair enough. I appreciate the guy bringing up the conversation, but these are unknowns, and his gossip shit doesn't fix it for me. Doesn't explain it for me for what Shaq was saying. But it is what it is. Do you have any final points, Anthony?
No, I think we covered it all.
Fair enough. Okay, there's our coverage. There's our reaction to Gil's Arena battle over Shaq's take on super teams. Check it out. Out.